out here today with Painting by Josh.
With Peter J.
And we're going to be painting Weathershield matte to touch up a window frame. And that sucker here. How are we doing this actually? So what, we've just popped out a new sleeve?
So I've just popped out a new sleeve. It isn't a new sleeve even, you know, it's a clean pre-used sleeved, okay? And what we like to do, if it's a brush, roller, even with the spray gun, we like to wetten or moisten up our equipment. So this way what it does, now that you have got a bit of water inside, I'd call it the roller stock or the stock of your brush, it keeps it from drying out pretty much. You know, if you're going to use, especially in this summer heat, if you're going to want to use a roller or brush, it's always best to keep it wet, pre-wet it first. That way, yeah, when we do, so you just roll out the excess, and that way it will not dry out right inside
The nap.
inside the nap. Yeah, so you're keeping it nice and moist, and it's not going to dry. You're keeping it from eliminating from drying out. So like I said, we do that even with our brushes. We just give them a pre-soak in some water, some brush cleaner, detergent, whatever you like to use, the pretty boy, and yeah, then we pretty much give it a flick out and you're right to go. So that way, a lot of the time it is most important with the brushes, because give it a bit of a dunk, and what happens, the water does suck up inside to around the stock to the filament area, and then that way it does keep it or eliminate it from drying out so much. I'm not going to say it's not going to dry out if you're going to leave it in the sun all day, but it definitely can help from, you know, from drying out. And hey, looking after your equipment is pretty much one of the biggest priorities for us. So always saves time and money, and you get the job done with the right equipment. Thank you. Yeah, we are using the Dulux Weathershield Maxi Flex. We're doing a low sheen. We're doing a matte. This is for the front walls. It's not for any of the rendered. I'd never recommend to put any matte surface on a porous or rough surface. It's not really the best, because we all know it's pretty much unwashable. You know, even with the Weathershield, I don't think it's really suitable for washing. It always leaves marks. Matte's one of them products that's really, I find it hard to work with, especially if it's a dark color as well. So, and another thing as well, if you are a DIYer, always pour from the front of your tin or drum, because you always want to keep your directions of, you know, you don't want to get halfway through a job and want to go back to the directions and you've painted or you've poured over them. So always use the front. If you're a tradesman, always like to use the back of the drum to pour. You should already know the directions if you're a tradesman painter, that is, anyway. And then that way, when you leave all the drums, or if you've got them all stacked, they're nice, clean looking. The client knows exactly what you're using. And there's going to be no mix up. So for us, we always pour from the back, and what I do, I always sort of right at the end, I'll just give it a bit of a hit back like that. That way it's pretty clean. And give it a wipe with your roller or your brush, whatever you prefer. But even so, we don't really cover too much. Keep it out of the sun always. Work your roller in. And there you go. There's your kit. ready to do your shit. Panel diet. Well done, we've gone through and cut in the monument mat. This is the compressed fibro sheeting, CFC. So what we've done, cut it in, we've let it dry. There's nothing worse than pretty much cutting it in and rolling it while the cutting in's half going off. That way, what you pretty much going to do, you're going to have a nice wet surface with your roller where your cutting in's going to be half set, and you're going to be lifting off your cutting around. So you're going to pretty much get a borderline. So you want to keep it, wait till it's dry, or keep it wet on wet. So that's the only two ways that I'd pretty much do it. Wait for your cutting in to dry, or cut in a panel and roll it straight away. So usually when I'm working by myself, I like to cut it all in, let it dry, and then roll to all the edges and everything really tight. And that's the way we're going to get it done today. So rolling off too. This is a fresh roller. We did get it all loaded up really nice. So what I'll do here, I'll pretty much do panel at a time. You know, the sun isn't directly on the wall, but we still have got a bit of heat around, so I'll do one more at a time. You always want to get it on pretty quick. And two, especially with mat's one of them products where it has to be sort of laid off the one way. So you can either lay it down or up. That way you get a nice uniform finish, because when you're rolling a wall, as you can see here with our first coat, you can see obviously like that. I'll explain it when I'm doing the rendered wall as well, but it is really important when you're rolling with a you know, thick nap roller or a textured wall, that you roll off in the one direction, because with your nap you could be pulling it upwards and it usually creates a bit more of a stippled effect. Or if you're going downwards, you're laying your nap down, or up, you're laying it up. So you are going to get a difference in your finish between if you're going just up and down like that, as you can see from here. So you want to all lay it down the one way, either up or down.